The inheritance of $10 million from our parents would soon be decided, and I knew my sister Megan's intentions all too well. She made it clear she believed our parents adored her more and would have wanted her to inherit everything. "You know it's obvious," she said with a smirk. "Why would they leave anything to someone as plain as you?" Megan had hardly contributed during our parents' funeral. While I managed the overwhelming arrangements, she spent her time discussing the inheritance, as though she couldn't wait for the formalities to end. She eventually made her stance clear. "I'll take it all. Fine by me if you never contact me again," she said mockingly. Who would want to? I thought. She didn't realize she was the one being cut off, not me. Without a word, I turned my back on her laughter, feeling only a hollow resignation. I had lost my sister as surely as I'd lost our parents, yet no sadness came. I am Hillary, a 35-year-old office worker. Both of our parents were entrepreneurs who built successful businesses, allowing my sister and me to graduate from private schools and universities. After finishing my studies, I joined a company where I've worked steadily ever since. Megan, on the other hand, never sought stability. She drifted through life, taking occasional part-time jobs without any concrete plans for her future. Despite her lack of direction, our parents indulged her. They provided for her expenses and adventures, while urging me to be prudent and self-sufficient. The difference in treatment was painfully clear. Megan's life of ease was granted because of her extraordinary beauty. She had inherited our mother's large, expressive eyes and double eyelids, our father's sharp nose, and our grandmother's elegant figure. Everywhere she went, she turned heads, exuding charm and confidence. I, however, was not so fortunate. I had my mother's low nose, my father's small eyes, and my grandfather's stocky build. From the moment Megan was born, 6 years after me, she became the family's darling, effortlessly overshadowing me. As a child, I adored her, and she would follow me around, calling me Hillary. But by the time she reached elementary school, her beauty garnered attention that highlighted my own insecurities. Scouts would arrive to recruit her for modeling opportunities, but I was often met with polite dismissal. As I entered adolescence, Megan became aware of her advantages. By high school, she used them to torment me openly. She'd take my belongings, sometimes claiming them as her own, and stage melodramatic scenes to paint herself as the victim. Our parents always sided with her. "Hillary, you're the older sister," they'd chide. "Be patient with Megan. She's just teasing you." No amount of protest changed their perception. By the time I graduated university, I had had enough. I moved out and avoided home, taking holiday jobs to keep from returning. 4 years, I distanced myself from the family, rejecting their pleas to come back. Then, 3 years ago, everything changed. Our parents died in a sudden car accident, forcing Megan and me to confront each other after years of separation. At the funeral, she cried incessantly while I handled the arrangements, grieving quietly, but when the subject turned to inheritance, Megan's tears dried up, replaced by cold calculation. Our parents' estate, worth $10 million, was now the focus. It was no surprise when Megan began asserting her entitlement, but her attitude only confirmed one thing: I had no reason to stay tethered to her anymore. "I'm taking it all," Megan sneered. "After all, you're unattractive, and our parents loved me more. They'd want me to have everything." "Oh, do you need some money for plastic surgery?" "I don't want it," I replied calmly. Her surprise was evident, but I meant every word. The idea of inheriting was meaningless to me, especially after the chaos surrounding our parents' sudden deaths. There had been no time to grieve, as I was overwhelmed by the demands of relatives, subordinates, and business partners at the funeral. The whispered remarks comparing us, "Are they even sisters? They don't look alike at all," paired with Megan's smug expressions, only deepened my exhaustion. "I don't want the inheritance," I repeated. "You can have all $10 million, but there's one condition." Megan tensed, narrowing her eyes. "What condition?" "I won't take a cent, but in exchange, I'm severing all ties with you. From this moment on, we're no longer family. No contact, no help, ever." At first, she seemed stunned, but as the terms sank in, a smirk spread across her face. $10 million and cutting you off? Perfect. Why would I ever need someone as ugly as you? Just don't come crying to me later. Ignoring her mocking laughter, I left our family home for good. I had lost my parents and now my sister, but the relief of cutting ties outweighed any lingering sadness. 3 months passed peacefully until Megan began bombarding me with calls. I ignored them at first, but since I needed my phone for work, I reluctantly answered. "Hillary, I need a favor," she demanded. "I don't have a sister," I said coldly. Stop contacting me. As I tried to hang up, she pressed on, her tone self-pitying but unapologetic. I tried to spend Dad's money, but a friend at City Hall said I need to consult about inheritance taxes. Isn't it just mine? Do I really need to pay taxes for money my own father left me? I don't know any lawyers, so can you handle it? Her entitlement gave me a headache, but I decided to clarify the situation to shut her down. For the record, there's no inheritance tax in this case since the amount is under $1, $4 million, but you only have access because I renounced my claim. I already informed a lawyer, so I have no rights to Dad's estate. Any issues are your problem now. Wait, that's great, she began. Don't thank me, I interrupted, and don't contact me again. Megan ended the call in a huff. It was clear she hadn't done her homework. Inheritance isn't as simple as taking the money and running. Assets go through probate, and debts are settled before distribution. Megan's ignorance of these processes would soon catch up with her. Weeks later, Megan consulted a lawyer and learned the harsh truth. The $10 million was the total value of our parents' assets, not liquid cash. Most of it was tied to the businesses they had started, and Megan, who had no involvement, wasn't entitled to much. Worse, she discovered she was responsible for business debts as a co-signer on some loans. By the time debts were deducted, her inheritance amounted to just $1 million. Her calls resumed, this time frantic and tearful. Hillary, I'm only getting $1 million. This doesn't make any sense. That's still a lot of money, I said, exasperated, like winning the lottery. Didn't I tell you not to contact me again? But Megan, who had expected millions, wouldn't stop. Her troubles only grew when rumors spread that she had inherited $10 million. Relatives, supposed friends, and even strangers hounded her for money. Stalkers and extortionists appeared, drawn by the false rumor. Hillary, help me, she begged in desperation. Where are you now? But I had long since left her behind. The silence in my life was precious, and I had no intention of losing it again. Megan's frantic screams filled my voicemail. I'm suffering so much, she cried, her desperation palpable. Judging by her messages, she had visited my old apartment, unaware that I had terminated the lease and moved elsewhere. With no way to reach me, she resorted to relentless calls and voicemails. Eventually, she even went to the police. However, having boasted about inheriting $10 million and flaunting her newfound wealth by gifting designer bags, her plight was seen as self-inflicted. Rumors of her inheritance had spread like wildfire, and the authorities, overwhelmed by her situation, advised her to move. Then, one day, her voicemails took on a cheery tone. Hillary, I've met the man of my dreams, Peter. He doesn't know about the inheritance and truly loves me. I suspected a scam immediately. Sure enough, Peter, a man Megan met by chance, had proposed they move in together after learning about her savings. He convinced her that banks were risky and suggested she keep her money in a home safe instead. Megan, ignoring all advice, closed her account, converted her inheritance into cash, and stored it in the safe. The next day, the safe was empty, and Peter was gone. Her voicemails quickly turned chaotic again. I was deceived. Peter was only after the money. My life is the worst. Hillary, why won't you help me? Her messages grew angrier and more desperate. It's because of your attitude that you're ugly, she screamed in one. Instead of learning from her mistakes, Megan continued blaming everyone but herself. As her funds dwindled, Megan had to leave her luxury apartment and move back into our old family home. There, she faced a new nightmare. Self-proclaimed relatives and so-called friends showed up daily, claiming she should share the house or let them live with her. Mentally exhausted and terrified, Megan left me voicemails twice a day, begging for help. Finally, I made up my mind to respond. Hello, I said flatly, answering her call for the first time. Megan gasped, clearly shocked to hear my voice. Hillary, help me, I hate this life. I want to live with you. Please, where should I go? No, I said firmly. Do you remember our agreement? I gave up the inheritance on the condition that you'd never contact me again. How many times have you broken that promise? I'm sorry, I'm really sorry. Please come get me. I can't stand this anymore. Please help me. Megan's pleas grew more frantic, but I didn't budge. No, the only reason I picked up was to tell you this is the last time. I'm changing my number. You won't be able to reach me again. Stop wasting your time and your money on call charges. Hillary, please. I interrupted her. You always lied to me and put me down, but now you've destroyed yourself. I'm finally free of you, and I'm happy. You should try to find a way to fix your life, too. Her screams echoed over the phone as I hung up for the last time. She may have been begging for forgiveness, but it no longer concerned me. I had fulfilled my end of the deal, renounced the inheritance, and kept my distance. Megan's ruin was her own doing. I turned off my phone, headed to a mobile shop, and changed my number. Since then, my life has flourished. I commute to work from a new, peaceful home, focus on improving my skills, and have rapidly advanced in my career. You've changed, my boss remarked one day. You're no longer weighed down by comparisons. At lunch, my colleagues noted, you used to say things like, I'm just this or I'm just that, but not anymore. You seem brighter and more confident. For the first time, I've learned to value myself without comparing myself to others. I no longer have a family, but I found contentment and happiness on my own terms.